What's up? Hello, YouTube. You're talking to the future. That's what we're going to do today. We're going to be talking to the future today. I pray that everybody is having an amazing start to an amazing week right now. My name is Adonis D. Johnson. I am the creator of I Am My Life Coach. Let the notification goes out. This is not really like a podcast. This is more like um, it's just like a live. What I would like to do is just reach you in such a way that when you hear me, you can really hear you, right? I'm going to bring forth something amazing for us today. I have some things I would like to discuss and channel. Let me just start by saying I lead from the front, right? I don't know where you guys are at, where you'll be tuning in from, but I'm grateful for your presence. This is the Mighty Monday Meltdown. It takes place in the 7 o'clock hour, and it's 2.0. So basically, it's I Am My Life Coach 2. And the reason why I'm choosing to kind of slow it down, because I need to make sure that the Invisible Crown Army shows up. I need to see fire and power. Those that grow with me knows that the more we put in, the more we get out. So it requires your attention in life, right? We have to make contributions to what we desire to have in life, right? Or we won't appreciate it. That's a message in itself. You only gonna value what you invest into. For many of us, we overlook the vessel. We didn't take care of the ship, right? We didn't take care of the house, right? We didn't take care of the mind, right? And and what I'm learning, Bobby, is poor doesn't start with financial. Poor starts with mental. And for many of us, if we can change the way we think, then everything around us will change. Unfortunately, right, we're stuck without change because we run from every challenge. Without no challenge, there'll be no change. So I don't come to agree with the way you think. I come to challenge the way you think, right? So as I began to take this platform to a whole nother experience and a whole nother level, I'm grateful for anybody showing up, right? I believe that some of us will get it just because we here, just because we present, right? But it's by faith. It's about your faith, right? It's by your faith. So I focus on three things. If you have your pen and pad, I focus on three things, right? Three things I focus on. One is self-empowerment. You're gonna have to, is that you, Kanye? Wow. Okay, you know how many times I've heard this? A lot of times, right? I'm from Chicago, by the way. Anyway, let's get back to the message, you guys. Let's stay focused. Let's stay focused. Let's stay driven. Let's stay powered up. Let me tell you the three things I focus on. One of those three things is self-empowerment. You're going to have to recognize that when you become yourself, you can empower yourself. That means you're going to have to take control of yourself, right? We're going to have to ask for more things inwardly than outwardly. And for some of us, we're under the laws. We're under tradition. We're under culture, we under customs, we under government, right? We under even parents, right? It's one more thing that we under: traditions, customs, religion. All these things does not allow you to become who you should be, right? Or should have been. But it's not too late to be what you might have been. Me being a self-empowerment coach, I learned how to bring myself to a place where I can go over myself. I can go around myself. I can go under myself, right? That is a privilege. That's what allowed me to become a master teacher. What? A master teacher at life. Is not a matter of my choices and decisions. It's how I make my choices and decisions. What I do in order to make good choices and good decisions that will dictate and predict what my outcome will be, right? In the midst of the right now. I believe that your power is in right now. I believe that anything you want to do going to have to start right now. And I want you to know that it can start by telling yourself, I am my life coach. The second thing I empower myself with is personal growth. If you do not make personal growth personal, then don't expect to enhance the things that you have, right? Many of us, we want cars, we want houses, we want trips, we want clothes, we want things, we want people, we want places, and we want things, right? And those is manifestation of something, right? The power and the trick to manifesting something is, what are you thinking, right? What are you thinking going to determine what you're going to have. And for many of us, we're not thinking at all. How do I know this? Because a lot of the times when we desiring things out of life, thank you for coming in with the fire. What we desire out of life requires it requires the insight. It requires direction. It requires focus, right? We can't focus on what we see. We have to focus on what we see, right? We have to focus on what we see, what we desire, and what it's going to take in order to see this thing into fruition. What it's going to take in order to manifest this thing into fruition. Well, one of the things that will help you with that is your why. When you have a why, right, it starts the reasoning process. And for many of us, we're not used to asking ourselves, why? Why do I want this? Why do I want this particular person as my significant other? Why do I want to move in this area versus this area? Why do I want a new car versus the car I already have? Why am I in debt? Why am I single? Why am I involved, or I feel like I'm lonely right now? That comes from personal growth. You have to make sure that when you're ready to have the conversation, you need to have the conversation with yourself. But for many of us, we want to have the conversation with someone else, and we're expecting them to have answers that's going to help you. No one answer will help you until you fix what you need to fix, or you address what hasn't been addressed, and that is you, right? Everything that I speak about is about you, right? If you don't make this moment about you, then no one else will, right? The reason why we get on this broadcast, the reason why we come on YouTube, there's many other YouTube channels you can go and you can do whatever it is you want to do. Me, myself, personally, I can't really read with the lights that's shining. I can't really read comments. But if the people that comes on, if you're not lighting your fire, then at the end of the day, don't go back and forth with somebody that you don't know, because that's what happens in the world. That's why we can't accomplish what it is we need to accomplish, because they're going to be distractions. They're going to be things that's going to try to take your focus away from what you're focusing on right now. You got to know why you came on this broadcast. You got to know, hey, if you don't like being here, you got to be able to tell yourself to get up off of here. What am I saying? To log out, find something different, right? This is not for you. Me personally, I believe that the last thing is personal development. Personal development means I need to develop other areas in my life that will help me become the better version of myself. This is about human capital. This is about human capital. How do I bring the value up in who I am? Why is this important? Because everything you participate in, it requires you. If you're not raising the bar on what you giving, right, then don't expect to be receiving right now. You don't know what you don't know, and the more you don't know, the more you can't grow. But the more you know, the more you will grow, right? You guys, I like to start also by sharing to you, I had an experience. I have a transportation company that I started, and with my transportation company that I started, I had an error. I made a mistake, right? I made a mistake at the gas pump. My truck, my vessel, it takes diesel gas. I made a mistake and put 93 gas in my tank. Well, here's the issue with this, right? This issue could have went way worse than it went. Out of me panicking, right, I decided to make a few phone calls. After making those phone calls, every person that I called asked me, did I start the truck up? Meaning they have experience, right? They have experience in the trucking world, right? Me, I'm not experienced in the trucking world, but I would love to make money from the trucking world. That's what makes me an entrepreneur, because I'm for return. I'm for finances, right? Well, let me just get to the point, because I have an amazing message that I want to unpack, but I want to get this off my chest first, because some of the things that I talk about is not just for you. Some of the things that I talk about is for me. I do not come on this broadcast thinking that any one of you need me more than I need me. I need me more than anybody else. This is what I mean by exercising your full potential right now. This is what I mean by taking ownership of yourself first. Governor you first before you try to govern something else, right? So back to the situation. I put the wrong gas inside of a diesel truck. If I would have started this diesel truck up, this could have ran me $10,000. $10,000 easy. $10,000 easy, hands down, because you're dealing with a alcohol-based gas, petroleum, versus a oil-based diesel, right? And this would have ate up the oil, right? And it would have messed up the motor and everything. But I'm going to tell you something. After getting this car, this truck, right? After being stuck at the gas station with gas, the only thing that saved me is that I didn't start this thing up. If I would have started this thing up, this thing would have messed up. And what I'm trying to tell you guys in that particular revelation right there is be careful what you keep trying to start up. This is why we mess up so much, because we keep trying to start fights. We keep trying to start conversations. We keep trying to start arguments. And we're upset that we're not going nowhere because you're using the wrong type of gas, right? You cannot be created beautifully by the creator, which is the higher power, and you're performing miserably. Why? Because of habits, right? Because of traditions, right? Because of religion, right? Because of customs, right? Because of this is all I know how to do. And all you know how to do not allow you to level up. It do not allow you to get to a next level, because you are in a cycle right now. And what I look to do is break cycles. But for some of you, you only used to the word called curses. You want to hear curses, generational curses, and all that type of stuff. Well, I'm challenging you today. Why? Use a different word, right? Let's go with the word habits. We all have been taught by habits, and the habits that you've been taught by do not allow you to progress, right? So we are a slave to what we have always done. And when somebody come and do something different, we have to challenge them. We have to argue with them. But I'm here to decree and declare, your arguing days is over with. You just need a conversation with yourself. I believe today I have what it takes that can break a lot of your habits. I believe I got today that will redefine some of your religion. It will change some of your tradition. It will help you with some of your customs. You know what that's called? It's called I Am My Life Coach. It's called what role do I play in this? And so as I begin to call tow trucks began to show up. And when they show up, they did not tow my vehicle, because they said based on my vehicle size, it was too big for their truck and they didn't want to deal with it. What am I saying? Some of you, you have so many issues in your life that you haven't dealt with. And now you keep looking for somebody to take you on. But when they take you on, they got to take on your issues too. All these issues, right, that you have, but you don't call them issues, but it will become an issue, because when something that goes with you that don't go with me, that is a issue. And I'm trying to get you to understand, until you master what goes with you, until you take the time out and recognize that. Why would you throw all this? You're not coming as an individual. You coming in as a family already. You coming in as you got girlfriends and you got male friends and you have a whole life, and you trying to merge this life. Many of us don't merge it in. We try to throw it in, right? We try to come in rough with all this, because what you in is beating you seriously, right? It's beating you. And guess what? The one who's coming to help you is the help. But what you end up doing is you will mess around and you will throw all your happiness, all your joy, all your peace, you will throw that all on your help, right? That's supposed to help you, right? Balance you, meaning compliment you, meaning, secure you in who you are, so that you can get the power that you rightfully are entitled to. You see, this is one of the reasons why God said, cast your cares on me. That means that you have power. But soon as somebody gets in the water trying to help you, you'll mess around and drown them and then blame them for why they got your hopes up high. But what you fail to recognize is you didn't secure what you're coming out of. You didn't secure your role in life. You didn't secure your financial state. You didn't secure your health state. You see, when you have everything under control, then it's easy to sit here and not be led by remote control. We're not led by temptation. We're not led by those particular things. We led by common sense, right? Common sense meaning I'm intelligent. I have to use my mind in order to make a conscious decision. And when I think about the people that I engage with, I think very highly, right? I think more highly of the people I talk to than they probably think highly of me, right? Why do I think highly of them, right? And I think myself, Lord, because I always want somebody to look up to. I always want someone that I can see the best in them, and that allows me to learn from them, right? But this can hurt you as well, but I want to learn, but I'm not. You have to be careful on what you learn. I want to learn. I am a student. I am a sponge first. I'm a student and I'm a sponge first. But when I see highly or think highly of someone, right, I raise them above myself so that I can become the receiver. But you have to be careful. Well, back to this truck situation before I close it out with that. The tow trucks did not take my tow, even though I was prepared to pay, even though my truck will start, but I couldn't start it, right? Isn't it amazing that God can tell you don't do something, somebody could tell you don't do something, right? And yet you do it anyway. Did you ever ask yourself why you didn't listen? A lot of the situations you're in currently, or you getting out of, why did you do it, right? Do you not know that you have an excuse, right? You have not really dealt with the situation. You just covered up your own situation. Many of us, we don't like nobody else to cover up something, but what's all the things that you covered up? Today, you have to bring down the veil. Today, you have to really address yourself. So right now, I just want to light fire right now. We come in by power and by fire. Why? Because power is the experience and the energy that's already given to you. Fire is what allows you to see. That means I have to be prepared to burn down old ways or any ways that's not going to allow me to move forward right now. Your power is the power of now. Where you going is tomorrow. Where you at is today. Where you was does not matter anymore. And for many of us, until we master this, we will continue to repeat what was. When you meet somebody, they're going to remind you what you did. They're going to remind you where you at. They're going to remind you that I was this, I was that. And all these things you're reminding, you stealing from today. Who was you called to be today? What can you do today? What can you say today? How can we pray today? How can we talk about tomorrow? But why is it that when we link up with somebody, we always go in the wrong direction? This is a habit. This is tradition. This is religion. This is custom. This is culture. And this is not you. Today, you have to exist for you. You have to be there for you. You have to be the one that tells you what you need to do, right? You need to sit here and understand that the rules that you learned them and it didn't work for you. It was never intended to work for you. So now you have to break the rules that kept you behind. You have to break the rules. This is how you become mature, because now I understand why. I understand the why to the what, right? In closing about the truck situation, sitting at the gas station, no phone, the phone went dead. I know this seemed kind of odd. 45 minutes later, a tow truck pulled up on the side of my pump. I get out the car and I look at the truck. The truck seems big enough to me. I walk over to the truck and I say, excuse me, guy, I have an emergency. I need a tow truck. He said, all right, my friend, not a problem. Right now, all right, my friend, not a problem. He couldn't speak English because he was Hispanic. And the son that was in the passenger seat, he was able to translate to his father what I was saying. What am I saying? I'm saying somebody speaks a language that you don't speak. And what am I saying to you? Hopefully, AJ the Wildfire, which is who I am today, can speak that language on behalf of you, so that on the behalf of the Father, so that you can get the type of service and the type of attention that you need in order to get what's in you up out of you. I got the car towed to the shop. Today I had to go pick up the truck. It ran me a pretty penny. It cost me. But let me tell you something. It cost me, right? Because my error cost me. And what cost me will be, this is my transportation company. Keep in mind, it also prevented me from providing a service. That is a revelation in itself. Please, I pray that y'all get that revelation. The truck that we're talking about provide a service. I get paid for the service I provide, right? How well I do in my service is how I get compensated, right? Right? But since I made a mistake, my mistake has now shut down one of my vessels. So I have to fix my vessel. I get the vessel towed. Some of you got to get towed to where you need to get towed to. I just pray that this broadcast is why you here. It's so that we can fix, right? What was put in you, we need to get out of you. So when they got to my truck, they had to drop my gas tank and take out the mistake. Take out what I put in, they have to take out, right? Some of you, what you want to do in life will not work until you take out your bad experience, your hurt. Your heart was broken. These bogus confessions. You have to change your confession. You have to own the relationship. But yet you want to talk about a relationship that you're not owning. See, because if you talk about the relationship, you will blame the other individual that participated in the relationship instead of yourself. And what did you do? How could you have handled? If you underperformed for the relationship, then the relationship was already doomed before it got going. That's why it never started. Many of us, we getting told to people, we getting told to positions, but we still not starting because the wrong gas is in the gas tank. And what am I saying for some of you? Based on what you want, you got to make sure you're using the right type of fuel, and negativity will never fuel where you going. Negativity will never fuel you for finances. Let's stop right here. For many of us on this financial note, let me just nip this in the bud right now, because we ask for prosperity. Prosperity means wealth. Wealth comes from the way you think. And for many of us, you better get this thing right now. And that is, you are wealthy mentally. You are wealthy spiritually. You prospering mentally, right? You're prospering spiritually, right? Now, what am I saying? Financially, you're prospering. Why? Now, we might got an issue with how to turn the tree into some financial paper, but let's keep in mind, paper don't have no value to it. But see, we want money which has no value to it because it's paper. But see, when somebody train you and make you want this, it'll make you forget about this. You have the power, and we got to go access that power from the eternal power that fires you up to make your whole existence become who it is you should have always been. Come on now, let's bring it on back and let's bring it on down. Let's adjust it and let's get it right. Here you go. We are prosperous mentally, you guys. We are prosperous spiritually, you guys. Emotionally, we're very intelligent. We need to use our mind in order to produce what we desire to have. But I do understand what it feels like to look in your bank account and no digital numbers is not there. That's called digital numbers, meaning I'm allowing what I see to affect how I feel. Come on, you guys. This is where I'm got to be honest with myself at right now. Maybe it's not you, but I'm going to light my own fire right now. It bothers me. Yes, God. It troubles me. Yes, God. It troubles me that I can't go and put my pen in and access the amount that I need in order to do what I need to do. It troubles me. But let's be clear. Maybe it's got something to do with my request. Maybe it got something to do with the why. Why is it troubling me? You see, something gonna come at you, right? Some gotta come at you, right? And if many of us, we fail this little test right here because we're so busy asking for everything he has already given us that we're performing poorly because we just don't use the access that we already have. And most of us, we don't even treat the companions that God sends in your life to flex and show and restore hope. Many of you, your job is to restore hope. But many can't restore hope because you're not living in your full potential. See, the enemy got you distracted. He has your attention somewhere else. Let's be clear, you guys. There's a word that I don't like that I have to use today as I close this thing up, and that is entertainment. You see, whatever entertains you controls you. And for many of us, we pays too much attention to the wrong thing. Entertainment really means enter. That means enter me, right? Enter me through here, enter me through here. Enter, right? Tain, meaning it's got to whip you, right? It got to whip you into shape. It got to put you under a spell, right? It's almost like hypnosis, right? It's like a dancer that's dancing in front of you, right? And it's like, I'm here to entertain, right? Entertain me, right? Those are demons. Those are spirits. Those are unclean spirit, unwholesome spirits, right? It's like conversation, entertainment, entertain me, right? Put the O there, entertain me not, right? Because I'm not entertained by things that can't be consistent. And one thing I know, a demon is not consistent. Not at all, right? I believe it ain't gonna always be like this. I believe that we can reset ourselves. I believe that we can change our focus. I believe we can level up. But unfortunately, we mess up because the one that he sends, come on now, we wants to blame them for something that we have not fixed yet. Let's go there. I knew that this truck could have cost me $10,000, right? But keep in mind, I don't have time to dwell on the mistake I made because I'm willing to pay for what I made, right? Because one thing I did not do is I didn't start it up. When they got the gas out of the truck, they had to cleanse it, meaning I had to make sure that what was in was all out. But once I got it out, I still had to clean it to make sure no residue was inside of that, left inside of. What am I saying to some of you? I'm saying that you keep trying to go somewhere, but you ain't never went nowhere. Some of you, you are 8 years behind. You are 10 years behind. Some of you, you are even 20 years behind. That means where you was at 20 years ago spiritually, you in a new dimension in the same place. No power, no fire, but that's why we here. I'm here to unlock this thing, but be careful about throwing fire and having fire because sometimes we ain't used to all that power and we got to call a time out and we got to get some instructions. That's why I'm giving you the parable. That's why I'm letting you understand that when they drop my truck, to drop the gas tank that holds the gas, which by the way have the wrong gas. See, some of you operating off the old fuel and you fueled by something that's not good for where you going. And then now you can have the right person but using the wrong fuel. Come on, y'all. You can have the right person but using the wrong fuel. You can have the right conversation but using the wrong fuel. What am I saying? You got the right idea about where you're going but you using the wrong fuel. You need new fuel in order to get to where you at. And many of us, we need to be refueled in order to produce. But if you put the wrong fuel in the right tank, come on you guys, you will get the wrong results and you will mess something up. They cleaned the tank out, put the right fuel in it. I was able to go pick it up, go get it clean and put it back where it needed to be, back in business, waiting to provide a service. What am I saying? I can't dwell on what I don't have. I can't sit here and spend a lot of time on what I want. I can't spend a lot of time on what I need. I can't spend a lot of time on, how long I've been waiting. Many of us, we're complaining and God hears your complaint and it is frustrating because every time you open up your mouth and let your mind runs the way it wants to run, you create a program that you have to live in or anybody that deals with you have to deal with. And your program is what's locking you in and locking your blessings out. What am I saying? Your program, what you telling yourself is very, very important today. And for many of us, you're going to have to rewrite this program. And I'm going to give you something to help you do this. Remember, entertainment is what's summoning your attention. It can be music. It can be people. It can be things. It could even be the Bible. It could be church service. It could be worship music. Whatever that got your attention, at the end of the day, you still got to journey back and it still has to come back down to you. And that's why I have to make sure that if you just fix you first, then you will be good at any other thing that you do. But if you keep trying to overlook you, you're going to be spending all your time trying to examine somebody else. You're going to be able to tell them because you're not in your body. You actually accessing this, and you're going to be able to tell them more about them, and you ain't telling them nothing about you, right? This is the Mighty Monday Meltdown, you guys. I had to give you that. I'm glad that you're here. I'm glad that you're here. If we're going to be here, then let's be here. Let's go on and switch the network, right? Let's switch this network and let's get it started. My name is Adonis Z. Johnson. I'm the creator of I Am My Life Coach. They call me AJ the Wildfire. Listen, I just want to break something down. Yes, you're going to be able to hear my heart. Does not mean that I'm vulnerable, but I'm vulnerable enough to open myself up to look at myself. Now, even though I'm opening myself up and you might be able to see my heart, I wants to see my heart too. But if nobody shows you how to do it, then you will never know that you need to do it. See, some people tell you to be tough, be strong, man up. Sometimes all that is good. I got that part, right? That's called, I'm in my feelings, basically, right? How does I'm in my feelings work? I'm in my feelings work like this. It works like, I don't think it takes, when you say I don't think, that's exactly what you're doing. You're not thinking, right? I believe if we spend more time on how it works, right, then we can better yet teach someone, right? And we can practice. I believe that we don't perform the way we should perform because we're not practicing. We're not practicing for where we're going, and neither are we practicing for where we could be, right? We could be in a worse place. We could be this way. We could be left. We're not practicing. What you have to put in practice, and see, preparation can seem like isolation. It can seem like separation. But even when you're separated, even when you're isolated, you can still be in preparation. And preparation is I can practice being a better me. But see, we want to tell people, you need to forgive. But I don't know how because I never seen somebody forgive me. I never seen somebody work with me. I never seen somebody, right, do practice faith, right? You got to practice faith. You got to keep practicing. Whatever you practice, that's the way you play. The way you play is the way you practice. But if you practice nothing, right? I'm not a husband, right? But I don't become a husband until I'm ready to be a husband. And even if I wanted to be a husband, I have to get it in my mind that I'm ready, right? I'm ready. Right? And that's just how much a man has to practice. He has to practice for where he going. No matter where he been, no matter what he been through, no matter any of those things, he has to get up, rise up. If you're a man, you have to keep your head up. I know it might seem like you're getting beat down, and you're only getting beat down because of people. Most individuals' issues is actually with other individuals. They should be better support system. They should be better family members. They should be better significant others, spouses. They should be better children. They should be better parents. But we got to work with what we work with. We ain't had no practice. We still don't practice. In order for me to be a good father, you have to be a good son. In order for you to be a good mother, you have to also have a good daughter. What am I saying? If you not fitting the role, then we all are out of order and it just won't work. Well, listen, you guys, I got a scripture I need to tan to. I think this gonna seal the whole deal and help us on this Monday. I believe that we gotta start our week off powerful. I believe that, hey, listen, we do the Mighty Monday Meltdown at 7 o'clock in the midnight hour, right? In the night hour, right? In the second part of the day, the end, right? The evening hour, right? And then we come in at the end of the week, which is Saturday. Now, we start with Mighty Monday Meltdown. We end with the 5 o'clock wildfire on Facebook, right? Now, hopefully we can grow this thing into something bigger, better, and greater. But if not, long as you're getting bigger, better, greater, that's all that matters, right? Because we have to take small wins. We have to appreciate what we do have. That's how we manifest what we desire, right? We cannot be tripping along the trip. And now we're complaining and we're messing up with the people that surround us because we're venting to the wrong people. Some people you can't vent to, you can't complain because the world see you one way, but in the reality world, that's who you know who your real friends is that I don't have to fake around people. I can be exactly who I need to be. And some people get caught inside of the virtual world and they never come back. So you still looking for them. Shoot, they feel like they better than you. They bigger than you. They feel like, hey, and you looking like, wait a minute now. How you better than me? Because they living on social media and you living in reality. Come on, you guys. Which one got more power? Reality. Let's get to the reality check, right? Reality check. So listen, if you go into your scriptures, I want to talk about the scriptures. This is in 2 Kings 7. 2 Kings 7, verse 3, right? Because I want to create and build a scenario, right? Create and build a scenario. Welcome everybody. Peace and love. That's all I look to give, right? Peace and love, right? So watch this scenario. Now there was 4 men with leprosy. Stop here. 4 men, meaning it was a group. But guess what? If you ain't got no money and you ain't got no money and you ain't got no money, then the 4th person definitely ain't have no money. So I love the fact that you sometimes when you judge somebody, whether that's in your family member, you come from that same cloth. You're cut from that same cloth. And for some of us, you cannot break this branch off because this branch is part of your strength, right? And some of us, we want to cut people off. We want to get rid of people. It's how you deal with the people. You don't have to get rid of them, but you definitely can deal with them by dealing with yourself. You see, ask yourself, why do this frustrate me? Why do I let them get under my skin? Because you have not dealt with that short temper, which we're about to deal with now. So these are 4 people. They have leprosy, right? At the entrance of the city gate, meaning before they walk in, they know what the problem is, right? They know that we all have the same issue. This is a concern for me because for me, I want prosperity. I want everybody around me to grow. I want people to develop. I want you to empower yourself. I don't want you to depend on anyone else. I want you to become independent. But see, for many of us, we are codependent, right? If somebody else ain't telling you what you need to be telling you, you depend on them more than you depend on yourself. For me, I depend on me more than I depend on anyone else. I depend on me, and that's how God are able to use me, using Christ Jesus in order to produce a message that allows you to see that I'm the messenger and I'm here to release a message. Get this message, it will change something in your life, guaranteed. Watch this, you guys. I'm in scripture. Let's go. They said to each other, why stay here until we die? Sound familiar? Sound like something I just told you guys, right? Why stay in this place with no money, with no business, with no customers, with no house, right? Why stay in this position? I want a new car. I want this. I don't need all that, right? Why stay here, right? And die. This is what they came up with, all 4 of them. If we stay, we will, wait a minute. If we say we will go into the city, the famine is there, right? It's a famine. That means nothing is going on. And if we will die, right? And we will die. And if we stay here, we will die. So basically it's saying if we go here, we gonna die. If we stay here, then we gonna die. This is an issue. This is the double-minded situation. Because for many of us, if you don't perform, you die. See, that's why some of us, when we meet people and they're higher on us than us, that's because they came in at their best, right? You came in at your worst, right? It doesn't mean you didn't have more. It just means you never practiced displaying more. And so for many of us, the reason why somebody can come in your life and just lift you up, because they know how to access what you have not taken the time to access. And so now somebody got to show you how to work your phone. Somebody got to show you how to work your computer. Somebody got to show you how to send a text. Somebody got to show you how to do a podcast, how to log in, how to log out. Somebody got to show you, right? Because you haven't taken time to show yourself. Somebody got to show you how to love, meaning they got to love you in your worst condition, that even when they get you up, you want to kill them now. You want to act like you was worthy of them carrying you. They've been carrying you all this long time. And all of a sudden now you want to wake up out of this coma. And now you want to criticize the one who done carried you. Come on, you guys, light your fire right now. I understand exactly where you at, but I got this quick message. I got to get this message out. Y'all got to get this one. Listen to this. A famine. It says, if we stay here, we will die. So let's go over to the camp of the Arameans and surrender. If they spare us, we live. Stop right here. This is how I feel a lot of the times. Now, I know some of you might not agree with this. That's because tradition is working in your life. Religion is working in your life. Customs is working in your life. parenting, how your mom and your daddy was, that's working in your life, right? Customs is working in your life. Culture, my skin color, this the way I was brought up, it's working in your life, right? And that's why you don't have no life, right? And so now I believe to be born again, Jesus Christ, is to be made over. That means I have to get rid of what was and I have to get into what is. And for some of us, we could mess around and enter into a pledge, a vow, take an oath. Some of us, we took an oath. You will love this person. You can make a vow to something. We loyal to something that does not even really exist. It only exists in your mind, but how do you know if you're successful in it? How do you know if you're failing in it? You ain't even practiced to be successful before you even did it. And you didn't practice to fail before you even fail. Because you can walk away from anything on earth. You can walk away. That's the beautiful part about it. See, a lot of us, we don't want to walk away. That's why we getting dragged. All we got to do is let go. But see, we going to burn our hands. We holding on to a rope and God saying, let go. But you getting drugged through life right now because I don't want to give up. Lady, man, let go. Let go is how you get your healing. Yeah. Let go is how you receive your power. You ain't seen nothing take its form until you let go. When you let go, is that not when your thoughts start happening? When you let go the fact that I ain't gonna never be this, and I ain't gonna never be that, and I ain't gonna never be good enough, I ain't gonna never be, because you too busy trying to be something that you not. When you let go, that's when you become who it is you should have always been. When you let go, your skin turn colors. When you let go, your eyes get white. When you let go, your teeth come back white. They ain't yellow no more. When you sit here and you let go, you stop caring about the things of others and you start putting your power back where it rightfully belongs, inside of you. Come on now. Watch this. It says, if we go over here and surrender, if they spare us, meaning, listen, I ain't ready. Why do I say I ain't ready? Because I'm practicing how to be a better me. Because if I do not get to be a better me, I will literally smack the taste out somebody's mouth. You hear me? My patience used to be like this. I didn't used to take my time. I feel like when I talk the right way, people wasn't listening to me. I feel like you got to have a little head movement. You had to roll. I grew up where you had to roll your eyes and you had to roll your eyes. You had to slam the door to show the person you mad. I grew up where you had to raise your voice. You had to sit here and clap your hands and say what? You had to bat your eyes. You had to smack your lips and say, You had to do all that. That's the era that I'm from. Do I want to communicate like that? Absolutely not. Absolutely. That is a demon. That is demons, unclean spirits. Those are problems. Those are warning signs that you are in the wrong area temporarily, but you're about to get out. Shut your mouth and walk out this situation. If they let you out, take that out. Okay? I'm not telling you what to do. I'm telling you what I learned to do. I learned I'm just not ready. I'm not ready to go back and forth. I'm not ready to sit here and lose my position. I'm not ready to lose my peace, especially when it took me so long to find it. Many of us, you only got a tinge of peace, okay? But you got more negativity than you do positivity. But I'm not ready to sacrifice my little peace, right? I got to hold on to this because this is all I got. This belongs to me. Come on, you guys. We too busy trying to share what belongs to you. Take it back. Take back what's yours right now. Take back your role. Take back, own it. Remember, fix the mistake first. Listen, I put the wrong gas in here, right? It ain't working. Obviously, somewhere down the line, we went wrong. You can't fix it. So we have to take out what we put in. And that means my time comes back to me. Come on now. My time comes back. See, people will try to steal your time because you could be creating the best results. You could be creating positivity, but people will use their time and use your time too to talk about what you did 6 months ago, 6 years ago, 7 years ago, 10 years. I don't want to hear how you was a good person then. Maturity should have grew you up. You should be bigger, better, greater than what you was. But see, we want to sit here and look at the old days. I'm trying to find out what's going to make it through these next days. I want to go with the what's going to make it through this new age. I want to figure out who's got it now. what it's going to take to get where I'm going out. Get this gas out, put my new gas in. This is about getting a better vessel, a better conversation, a better space, better grounding, better dialogue with better people. You understand what I just said? You ain't got to go keep finding new people. You just need to become the new person. And I believe some of us, we sit here, we'd rather go change our hairstyle. One minute we this way, next minute the thing this way, next minute your thing back this way. Eyelashes all the way up like you're happy. See, that's the problem when you sit here and you paint these faces like you always happy, but you don't feel the way you look. Come on now. And you painting the wrong picture and you can't start your engine up. Come on, you guys. If we start off with prayer, then we already winning right there. If we start off in the spirit, then we already winning right there. But see, we want to start off some type of way and mess it all up because now you ain't seen the spirit till the spirit walks inside of you. How you ever thought you had it going on till somebody showed up that really had it going on and you looking like, How you ever thought you was just a nobody, but everybody saw who you are. Everybody got compliments for you. Everybody's telling you, it's something about you. It's something about you. It's something about you. It's something about you. And I'm looking like, what is it? Because apparently I'm losing this. I'm missing this. What am I saying? I'm saying, you guys, come on now. This ain't gonna always be like this. At some point, God finna show you what everybody been seeing right now. He was working, you just didn't know it. Why? Because he was working on you, in you. And now it's time to access what he put in you. Come on, you guys. Let's go ahead and push this thing out real quick. So watch this. A famine is there, but if we die, if they spare us, we live. If they kill us, then we die. But I would rather die knowing I gave it all I got. I'd rather die knowing it was worth dying for. I'd rather die knowing that I gave you the best. You just couldn't handle the best. Do you know, I don't really downplay myself too much. I have to turn it up so much that it will burn a wig off a head. You hear me? I got to make sure that first and foremost, I'm the most humblest guy I know because I practice being humble. This is 10 years in the making now. I am my life coach. It's all I know how to be. And for many people like Sonia and many other people that have been on this journey, that's why I am my life coach. Your first business is being you. Your first business is governing you, right? To us, a child was born, a child was given. He's the Prince of Peace. Your first job is to understand what peace look like in you, for you, right? You need to understand where you're going, how to govern who you is, how to get your little attitude together, how to get out of funk, dictate. Even your car tells you error, cooling, error, check engine light. You need to know when your check engine light is on. That means get to the dealer so that you can see what your problem is. And for many of us, you don't know how to get to check yourself in and see why is bothering me so much, right? Why am I so irritated? Why am I in that? I wouldn't like me either. And some of you running an old program like you still got it going on. You so outdated. Let's be clear. You so outdated, you really need to get your updates. You really need to get it together because you're going to have to come with some other features at this point. Everybody got BBLs walking around this camp. Everybody done some alterations around here in some form of fashion. The only thing you ain't altered is your character. The only thing you ain't altered is your attitude. Your attitude and your character is what's going to shape everything. And you ain't shaped nothing because you show up expecting something you ain't worked for. That's why it says you will enjoy the fruits of labor. And you have not labored when it come down to you. But when you come down to someone else, don't be surprised if they feeding you their fruits from their labor, but you think that you entitled to what they have. And it don't work like that. That's why they have more control. You are dependent. You are codependent on what it is that they have done. But they can't depend on you for anything because you haven't done the work. Work. It's the work. Okay, let's go deeper. Let me get this out. I got an amazing message, y'all. So please stick around for this one. Watch this. If they spare us, we live. If they kill us, then we die. At the dusk, they got up. At dusk, dawn and dusk. At dusk, they got up and went to the camp of the Armenians. Listen to this. When they reached the edge of the camp, that means they had to get up and they had to go, knowing this is not going to work possibly. If they kill us, then we die. If they spare us, then we live, right? But if we stay where we was at, we dead anyway. This is for you, for some of you. You got to get this message. If we stay here, we die. If you stay petty, you won't die petty. If you stay poor in mindset, you're going to be poor. If you constantly causing problems in somebody else's life, you're going to still be right here. They said, if I get over here and they show me favor, then I rise up. But if they kill me, then they sit here and reveal that you ain't practiced, you ain't done anything that's going to help you become better. So why should I trust you? So look what happens, you guys. When they got there, for the Lord had caused the armies to hear the sound of trumpets and horses and a great army. That means when they was on their way, the Lord of Lords, the King of Kings, calls them. See, this is why you have to stop trying to enslave somebody. You got to be the best you that you can be. When God sees you, he goes to them and tell them whatever he tell them so that you can have safe passage. So watch this, safe passage. Look at this. So God goes to them and make them hear horses. You know, I feel like, see, some of you, the reason why you keep feeling some type of way because God ain't, he said you ain't ready yet. See, I want you to use your head. I want you to see what type of person Sister Sonia is. I want you to see that Sister Sonia is like this. Sister Sonia is like, I want you to look at her characteristic. Watch what some of the things she do. Watch how she posts and interact with the post. I want you to see this. This is intelligent. She ain't saying, I feel like I should do this. She's saying, this is what I do because I know that this is going to help somebody. I know that this is going to help somebody, right? I don't feel because I can't feel this for somebody. I have to know intelligence, right? So watch this. So God goes and says, he tells them, hey, y'all don't hear them chariots coming. Y'all don't hear them horses coming. Y'all don't hear them great army coming. So that they said to one another, look, the king of Israel has hired someone. The King of Kings, the Lord of Lords is fighting for them. You see, this is the battle, you guys. There's a battle going on, and we show up so that we can win. Sister Sonia says we reap. Reap meaning what I'm receiving is only what I'm putting out. And some people ain't put out a hit in so many years. You think you put out something? You used to be a good person. Those fruits is gone. That went away with the last season. That's why people come in your life for a reason in a season. Because you're not re-sowing. We're not re-sowing. You have to sow what you want now. You can't keep talking about it. You have to work what you sow now. And for some of us, you going off of a season 6 seasons ago, and you ain't had a season yet, right? And now you done forgot, right? So I got to give you this again. Let's close out. Let's close it out. Not close it out, but close it out. So they ran. Look, they said the King of Kings is fighting for them. So what they do? So they got up and fled at dusk and abandoned their tents and their horses and their donkey, and they left their camp as it was and ran for their lives. Listen to that. God forced people to leave. See, some of us, you got to just keep trusting it's going to work itself out. It's getting better for us. But see, you too busy not making sure that the people that is good is covered. You got to make sure that the one who is doing the work, you don't speak foul on them. You got to make sure that, hey, I want the best for you. Everybody that gets on this broadcast, believe me, I want the best for you. And the only thing that's going to give you the best is the truth. The truth is what sets you free. Prosperity is available to all of us. I don't have to lie to you. All you have to do is access what's available to you. You change the way you think and everything around you change. You change one thing, you change everything. Say to yourself that it's about to get better for me. See, sometimes you got to speak for the me, and it ain't me that's speaking, it's you inside of the me, right? And you have to say it's about to get better for me, because guess what? That's power. You shouldn't have to be upset at somebody saying, I'm going to be good. That's the first time you speaking over yourself or to yourself is when you are into it with someone else. But when you do it on a free will basis and you practice saying, it's about to get better for me. Opportunities opening up for me. Doors is opening up for me. I'm going to get there at the appointed time, and that time is now. I will lack nothing in this season to come. Everything will be available. Everything will be available. My mind will be open. My ears will be alert. Words will come out my mouth. I will take my time to express myself. I will be quick so that I can listen, so I can get a better understanding in the name of Jesus Christ. That is so. Light your fire, you guys. I got to get on to this next message. This the one that's going to bring it home for us. So they got up and fled. They left everything. The men who had leprosy reached the end of the camp, entered one of the tent, ate, drank. Then they took silver, gold, clothes, went off and hid them. Stop right here. My point is, by the time they got there, remember, they was just about to die. They was in a famine. If we stay here, we die. If we go there and they kill us, if we go there and they don't have nothing, we die. But if they spare us, we live. But if they don't, then we die. Some of you, we can't stay here. We have to move. Some of you can't stay in them bleachers. You can't stay waiting on the end of the week. We have to start this week off knowing that it's about results right now. You can't be sitting here trying to use petty thinking in order to get major results right now. You got to put an end to the petty thinking. You got to fix and level up first before you can sit here and even address what somebody else had to offer. You see, a lot of us criticize the other companion or the other partner because we seeing them, but we only projecting what we see from them, and we blaming them on where we at right now, and we're blaming them for where we at, instead of sitting here saying, I gotta level up, I gotta do bigger, better, greater. I can't give up on me. I gotta do more of me. But see, we thinking that we're allowing what we see to dictate how we feel, and that means somebody done gave up on us right now. Now I gotta bring it home. So y'all got that story. Let's close this last one out right here. I feel like this gonna be the kicker right now. I feel like this is where I'm gonna catch fire at, for real, for real. This, y'all like that, for real, right? I like that too. That was dope. Let's go here. Let's go here. This is where I'm at right now. This is where I'm feeling right now, right? Let's go to First James 1. James 1. And let's just get some basic instructions. That is so. Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. First James 1. And I want you guys, if you're reading, do not go ahead of me. Just watch this thing as it unfolds, right? Let's go. Here we go. James 1, we're doing the NIV Bible, right? I'm finna flip the script, something different. Hey, look at Sonia over there talking key money. Hey, listen, y'all better cut it out on this broadcast, okay? Let's get back to the Lord, all right? Can we have a moment? This is the Mighty Monday Meltdown 2.0, right? And we thinking bigger, better, greater, right? I'm on First James 1, verse 19. Listen. Dear brother and sister, because that's how we should treat one another, like this, right? Take notes on this. Stop right here. When you see somebody say, take notes, didn't I tell you that you have to practice? You taking notes because you need to put it into practice. This is how you become successful at what you're doing. This is the book that I wrote called I Am My Life Coach, right? You have to practice for where you're going. You have to practice for where you're going. If not, you're going to keep displaying where you've been. And when you see you tacky, when you see you commenting foolishness, when you see you dressing kind of off, when you see you watching talk shows and shows that's where you've been. You got to practice for where you're going, right? You got to see yourself there, right? It goes totally against where you've been, right? Now watch this. Everyone should be quick to listen. Some of us, remember I said we got to listen, learn, and execute. The reason why you listen, so you can respond. But for many of us, we're so programmed, customs, tradition, religion, culture, parenting, right? Neighborhood, selfhood, right? Hood, right? That we're not listening to understand, right? We're not listening because if I was listening to you, it would paint a picture in your mind. You will begin to see something if you are effectively listening. Scriptures teaches you in John, it states, be quick to listen, slow to speak. That means, why is it slow to speak? Because what you're listening to will give you an image. What you're willing to speak, your mind had to come put it together first. See, your mind, when you're thinking, this is the art of thinking. You just can't let words come out your mouth. You have to be thinking about what you want to say before you say it. So I'm slow to speak because the power is in speaking. And if I speak the wrong thing, I create the wrong thing. If I speak the right thing, I create the right thing. But the one who's listening is the one who will get an idea. And if the idea that they listening to will create the wrong idea, then they can cast it down. But if I get the right idea, then I can lift it up and I can exalt it, right? Now, here you go. That was good. That was good. Now watch this. It says, and slow to become angry. See, angry is people stealing your time and they willing what they don't want, but they blaming you for what they don't want. They blaming you for not following them. They blaming you for not listening to them. They say they listen to you, but I was willing something good. But you want to, I have to listen to you, but you willing something bad. I'm trying to go forward. You trying to go backwards. That will be a tug of war. Somebody has to let go. And if I let go, then you go tumbling backwards, right? If you let go, then I continue to press forward. What am I saying? I'm saying when you know where you're going, you better know when to let go and when to hold on. And my point that I'm trying to express to you is to hold your position is because it's about where you're going. It's not about where you've been. Come on, you guys. We coming out of something right now. It says because angry, right? Angry. Be slow to anger. I didn't say you ain't going to feel no anger because ain't nothing like feeling like somebody don't waste your time. But wasting your time is willing something that doesn't exist. See, I should be willing how I want to feel, but yet you telling me how you feel based on what you felt. And what you felt could have been a year ago. And you still willing this into existence, making yourself sick in the right now, and you blaming somebody else because they not sick, but you are. Come on, you guys, you got to get that right there. That was good. Due to time, I can't repeat it because I got to keep pushing. It said because human anger, see, human anger, that is a known issue. This is a known issue to who? To human. Human anger does not produce. Does not produce. I'm here for a produce. I'm here to produce good results. I'm here for bigger, better, greater. That's what I'm saying. That's what I say. That's where I'm at. I want results. I want good results. I don't care how poorly something done happened back then. All that matters is right now. And for many of you, you can't get to where you're going to be because you can't let it go. You can't let it go. You can't let it go, and it got a hold on you, and you trapped by what you thought. You trapped by what you did. You trapped by how you acted. You trapped by what you said. You trapped by what you thought about somebody else. They free, you trapped. This has to be reversed. Come on now, let's get free now. Let's get free. Come on, y'all, let's get free. There you go, right there. Peace and blessings, you guys. Hey, I'm just somebody that's kicking a message. Hopefully y'all can get it. Mad love, man, to everybody. Bless the room. Bless this room and all rooms we walk into. Because one thing for certain, two things for sure. I'm not going to be in poverty. I could tell you that. And prosperity is all I desire to participate in. Anything below me, I just don't entertain. It can't entertain me, right? Those are spirits, demons, unclean spirits, unwholesome conversations, little bitty devils, whatever they are, that's what they are. I don't have a problem with what they are. But for where I'm going, I could tell myself it ain't going to always be like this. You guys watch this. Follow me on this one real quick. Verse 21. Therefore, get rid of all moral filth. Stop. Do you know what it means to get rid of? I believe that for some of us, we break protocols because we don't know how to get rid of the bad thoughts. We don't know how to get rid of the customs. We don't know how to get rid of the habits. We got excuses. We got justified excuses for why we do what we do, and we blame somebody else. That's why we never get rid of something. We would rather blame than sit here and say, I'm working to become better. I'm working to to level up. I'm working to purge myself, to cleanse myself. We would rather blame somebody else and say, I got to fast myself from you. You ain't the problem. Who you fasting yourself from ain't the problem. If you fasting yourself from them, then why are you fasting? Because you still blaming somebody else for something you need. Be clear on what you need and then work for what you need. You'd rather let something go and think that fix you. No, working on you, help adjust you, because you need to get past the area that you can't get past. And the reason you can't get past is because you're not practicing. You have to practice, right? Peace and love all day. Thanks, Snoop Dogg. We good. Man, mad love, my brother. So it says, get rid of all. All mean all. And for some of us, I know my problem is, if you know your problem, then you should have been fixed that one. But you got many more other problems. It says all. And that is a problem. If your finances ain't up to standards, that's a problem. If you don't work out, there go another problem. If you don't eat healthy, there go another problem. Because if you don't eat healthy, then everybody around you ain't eating healthy either. There go a problem. If you ain't sitting here leveling yourself up and studying your words and praying, I didn't see here today. You can ask somebody to pray for you. If they can't pray for you, there go a problem. If when they finish praying for you, and then you say, hey, pray for this for me. And if they can't start praying right there for that, that's another problem. And when they finish praying, if they could, say pray for now. When they finish their praying, y'all say amen. Say now pray for me for finances. I want a whole different prayer, right? And if they can't do it for that, right? And if they did do it, say amen. Then say, hey, I need another prayer, right? You should never get tired of praying. Right? Because praying is a request. Praying is something you practice. Praying is something I go in. But if you can't do this, that's because you ain't practicing. Not to mention the friends or the people that you around, they ain't ready. And you ain't either. You ain't ready. They ain't ready. We ain't getting ready. And that's why we end up stuck in a spot. But today we ain't stuck, because I just want to bring it to our awareness so that we can do something about it. It says, get rid of, Sister Sonia, all moral filth. That means get rid of means you got to be willing to let something go. We don't want to let that attitude go. It worked for us for too long, and we can't let that go. They give me a reason to let it go. Stop making me mad then. Stop treating me the way you treat me, and I won't have to be this way. You shouldn't be this way at all. You shouldn't be this way at all. But see, you keep carrying it over, carrying it over, carrying it over, carrying it over, and they keep rolling over, just like jumping flights on standby. It keep rolling over and rolling over and rolling you over to the next flight. And you wonder, when I'm taking off? No, you on standby. Because when you get a first class ticket, then you going to know when you getting on that plane. You hear me? Let's go. Let's go deeper. Get rid of all more filth and the evil that is so prevalent. And humbly, do you know to be humble, you got to practice? Humbly accept the word planted in you. Question, who planted that word in you? The one who's supposed to plant it, that's the one you denied. That's the one you canceled out. That's the one you ain't listened to. That's the one you say he talked too much. That's the one you say she thinks she, that's the one, you got to let me speak. That wasn't no plant. That's why you got to be very careful who's talking to you, because either they're going to plant something good or they're going to poison what's good. And I can't afford to allow an organic garden or vineyard get poisoned by your anger and your foolishness. And it says it just that simple in the script. You wouldn't even know that it was really just that simple. If you not speaking positive, you have to be speaking poison. And I can't just let you say anything, because guess what? You have no self-control over yourself. You don't care about where you're going, but I do. See, long as I'm going forward, I have to protect this. That's my job. But I can't sit here and go there with you, because I'll bust on you just like you might bust back. And guess what? We talking like this to one another. Forget you. Look at you. Look at this. You don't have that type of time, because you done just spoiled everything and you done poisoned everything. And that's why people that used to be like this, we could be like this. One argument, one conversation, and now we like this. And many people are like this right now. You like this right now. People you should be like this with. You should be like this, locked in. Hey, you got $5? Hey, hon, I got the $100. Take this $100. Let me be honest with you. Oh, I can't be honest. I be giving up all my little stuff. You supposed to be like this. How did you go from this to this? That's because you ain't practiced. You ain't practiced. That's why you like this. saying we should be like this, but we so you ain't practiced to be like this. And even if you like this, you got to still practice to stay like this. But for some of us, we don't practice to stay like this. So we go right back to this. And then we start talking like, you see, you this, that. And then now you want to talk about somebody else. Come on, man, you got work to do, right? Humbly accept. Do you know how hard it is to accept something? I got to accept the fact that this person knows what they talking about. I got to accept the fact that Sonia knows her stuff. This lady faithfully in her fasting, faithfully in her praying, faithfully in being who she is every day. You ain't never going to get somebody different when it comes to Sister Sonia. You going to get the same individual because the same God that was her God then is the same God that her God now is the same God she's talking about that's going to do the things that she needs done. There's no difference. And I'm happy that I get to watch her exercise her privilege that she has with her God through Jesus Christ. Come on, you guys. I get to share that. I mean, I get to experience that just like you get to experience God, Christ, in my relationship with God through Christ right before your eyes right now. I pray that that made sense to you guys as I close out. That's my closeout music. It said, accept what's been planted in you. Some of you, you need to uproot what's been planted in you first, right? Take it up out you. And then make sure you know what you're planting now, right? See, some of you, you went off of what somebody else said. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. And you done disabled yourself. You've been waiting on them to do something and you ain't done nothing, okay? You ain't done nothing. That's why it's bad soil. See, bad soil can keep your seeds from growing. You can't plant in bad places. Everybody got every excuse to why they can't do what they should be able to do, right? But you got the power. Verse 22, do not merely listen to the word, right? And so deceive yourself. Do you know that this is a lot of our problems here? We listen to a word, we hear YouTube word, we hear a pastor, a church or something talking, and we deceive ourselves. You know, I got to get myself right. I'm sinning. Why? Who told you you was sinning? God never told you that. God didn't tell you you was off. God didn't tell you you was messing up. God didn't tell you you was failing. Your life was excelling. You listened to somebody else, and that's what messed you up. It says, do not listen and deceive yourself. Do what it say. Do what it say. Put it into practice. Put it into practice. But some stuff I'm already practicing and I'm getting results. But I cannot be on level 10 and somebody saying, you need to do 1, 2, 3, 4. You need to do 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm on level 10. You need to do 1, 2, 3, 4. Eventually you're going to be like, I'm going to start over. I think I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4. You already did 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Right? But see, why you should be looking for 11 and 12 and 13 and 14, and I want to give you more. I want to do more. I want to spend more time communicating about finances. I want to spend more time communicating about good health. I want to spend more time communicating about goals, about dreams, about visions. You want to spend more time going out partying and drinking and hanging out and what is this and what is that and who is this and who is that. And that doesn't matter no more at this point. So watch this. Because it's past tense. That's not thinking. That's your feelings. And feelings governed by no thinking is no God at all because your overseer is Christ. Okay? All things he can do. Right? So watch this. Here's the closing. Do not do what it says. Anyone who listens to the word but does not do what it says is like someone. Look at the example, people. Look at the example. It says, if you listen to the word and don't do what it say, I want you to understand what the word is. We're not talking about scriptures. We're talking about do what the word. Remember it says be quick to listen. So you should have an idea. This is the type of person I want to be to you. And I'm going to be that. You see, this is who I want to be. And I'm going to be that. Okay? This is what I want to do, and I do it. Okay? I don't mean to bring you harm. I look to prosper you, and that's what I do. Right? I'm making it about who I'm connecting to, because they the one that's connecting to you. Okay? You are the one who brings what you bring. Okay? You cannot sit here idle and don't do anything and just sit here and say, I didn't know. I didn't know. You don't have time. You ain't ready. You ain't this. You got a lot going on. See? Every excuse to do nothing, because you're gifted at doing nothing and you are outdated. That's why you're deactivated and you do nothing. So you produce nothing. And all you do is poison and complain about everybody else that's what? Doing something. How do I know this? Let's close out. Here you go, right here. It says, do what it say. Anyone who listens to the word and does not do what it says is like someone, right? Let's find out if you that someone. That's why we got to keep our eyes open. The someone who looks at his face in a mirror. That means I'm seeing you. I see what you do. I see how you are. Look at yourself in the mirror. You make sure your eyelashes is right. You make sure everything is good, right? You see all this, right? Right? You got it all together, right? Right? All that. But soon as you forget this mirror, you forget what you look like. It says, after looking at himself, goes away and immediately forgets what he looks like. Why? Because you're not practicing what you do. See, what you do, it's not just about what you do, it's how you do what you do. And some of you, you're not doing anything because how am I supposed to do this when you don't seem like, see, you got a how you supposed to do something that you never done. See, what you do is based on what you're doing. And when you understand how you do what you do is just as important as what you do. And for many of us is people know what I do. What I do to you. What you don't do. See, this is what you don't do. Right? You got to understand how you do what you do. And sometimes you got to recognize that how you do what you do is based on positive energy. Some stuff you do gonna have to be based on prayer. Some stuff you do gonna have to be based on faith. Some of the things you do gonna have to be based on positivity. I know it look bad, but it gotta be positive. I know I want to cuss you out, but I gotta stay firm. I gotta make sure we get this. God sent me, we in this potato sack. I can't go there with you right now. I gotta make sure we get to everything God has for us. Somehow my destiny tied to you and where I'm going. I ain't got time to check you about you. I ain't got time to tell you, why did you wear that outfit? Why you got them shoes on? Why are you doing this right? You don't reflect where I'm going, right? But at some point, you gotta be able to know how to bow out and be like, look, I'm a hindrance to you. Go ahead and do what you do because I don't want to slow you up, get there. But if you get there before me, don't forget about me. Come on, y'all. Sometimes you got to tell somebody around you, listen, you know what I've been 100 at this point. You have been through so much for so long. This is not the time to be explaining to somebody or begging to somebody about where you at and what you need. They should already know at this point, but they will never know until you ready to grow, till you done told God, come on now, I'm ready for you to do it for me at this point. I'm done expecting from someone else. I want to be used. I'm tired of putting limitations. I pray that we cancel out every spirit of limitations. Come on now. There will be no limitations when it comes down to you being who you should have always been. Moving forward, you will give more than you receive. Come on now. You will be the giver. That means you're going to give a good conversation. You're going to give peace. You're going to give happiness. You're going to give joy. You're going to be the example of the Christ that they talking about. A lot of people talking about him. You the one that's experiencing him even in this moment right now. You experiencing Christ like never before. They searching for him, but if they were searching for him, they should have been, why they talking to you? Because what they searching for, they've been planted in you. Come on now. He said, how do I know this? Let's go to what I'm talking about so that you will see exactly what I'm saying. Let's close it out. Let's close it out, y'all. We got a couple more minutes. Listen to this. Put it into practice. Verse 23, anyone who listens to the word but does not do it is like someone who looked in the mirror. Let's go. Verse 25, but whoever looks intently into the perfect law that gives, what it gives? It gives freedom. See, love is freedom. I'm free to love you the way that I see fit. That's all I want to do is give myself away. But see, you'll rather be trapped in loneliness. You'd rather be trapped like the four leprosy in famine, meaning I ain't getting nothing, so you gonna die. You mean tell me God can't use you because you die? You die, I ain't finna do all that, and you gonna die right there where you stand at, and God can't use you, you dead. Dead, right? But look at this. It says, the perfect law that gives freedom and continue in it, meaning continue in it. Look at this. Not forgetting what they heard, what they have heard. I can do all things through Christ. If I remember I can do all, put it in practice, I can do all through Christ. Isn't that our higher self? I can get done anything I want to do if I had the right attitude about what I want to do. You see, I can do all things through Christ. That means I don't have to beg nobody now. I don't have to sit here and manipulate nobody now. I ain't got to lie to nobody now. I ain't got to sit here and mislead anybody now. I don't got to deceive nobody now. I can do all things through Christ. That means if I wanted you, all I had to do is be the best me that I could be. That means that I'm so on top of what I do that it got your attention, but now it got your attention to look at what you done been accustomed to doing. You down here, boo. You got, it's so crowded down there where you at that you uncomfortable because there's nothing different about you. There's nothing different about you because you have conformed to the patterns of the world that done entertained you for so long that it done got in you now. And now you are entertained by what entertains, right? Ain't that something? I'll go there another time. But look at this. Freedom. Listen, they don't forget, and not forgetting what they have heard, but doing it, they will be blessed in what they do. Remember, what you do, right, is one thing, but how you do what you do. You shouldn't have to piss somebody off just to make you feel good, just to feel like you need some attention. Some people would rather take an argument just to, you don't care about me no more, right? I care not to argue with you, right? But see, do something positive, something productive, and you will have something to build on. But if you build it on foolishness, then God gonna constantly spank you for doing what you've been doing. So those who consider themselves religion and yet do not keep a tight rein on their tongues deceive themselves. God told me, God said, God is this here, God is king, God is this, God is that, God is this, God is that. Well, then who are you? Because I know who God is, God, but you the one who stay in my house. You the one that's on my phone stealing my time. You the one that need a favor from me. You the one that keep calling me. I got who God is. Who are you? That's what I need to know. That's what we need to clarify. Who you is, who you work for. You work for the devil. You work for them demons that's been after me for years. You work for them naysayers, them slanderers. Who you is, who you work for. You the ops. You work for the devil. You trying to mess up my peace. You trying to play my peace. You trying to play my prosperity. Huh? Who you work for. Identify yourself. To God be the glory. It says they got to keep a rein on their tongue or they will deceive who? They will deceive themselves. The religious folks. If you don't shut your mouth, you're going to mess yourself up. And there's nothing more hurtful for me to watch somebody kick scriptures to me and then talk crazy to me and have to live in what they created. And now they want me to assist them on getting out when they was trying to put me down. It says those who consider themselves religions, they better keep a tight rein on their little mouth, right? Their tongue, because they're going to deceive themselves. And their religion is worthless. Why is it worthless? Because you didn't produce no fruits. You didn't produce nothing good out of your friends. You didn't produce anything that's worth having, right? Okay, so I appreciate you guys. That's my time. But it says in this is in 1 James verse 21, 27. Religion that our Father accept as pure. See, pure. That means what we need to do now. That's how pure this thing is. What exactly is it that we need to do now? That's all that matters. I bet you want to know what tomorrow looks like. You want to know how this thing going to go for tomorrow or the days ahead? Ask yourself what we need to do now. That go to plan right there. What we need to do now. But see, you don't want to do that. You're ready to talk about what you already done, which didn't bear no fruits. That harvest season is over with. You missed it again, right? So the ending part is, it says their religion is worthless. Religion that God our Father accepts as pure and faultless is this: to look after the orphan, the widows in their distress. See, some of you should be distressed. You're stressed right now, and I gotta look out for you. Make sure you're good. And keep oneself. If you don't get nothing else, this is the last thing you need to get. Keep oneself. It did not say keep two selves. It did not say keep you and everybody else. It did not say keep you and your community. It did not say keep you and your family. It did not say keep you and your children. It says keep one self from being polluted by this world. That's why your job is to make sure that no foolishness is being created on your watch. Make sure you hold your position, you guys. Thank y'all for tuning in to the Mighty Monday Meltdown. Make sure you click the subscribe button below. Share the broadcast, man. You like it, click the up sign. You don't like it, click the down. It's okay. Anyway, I'm going to continue to do what I have always done, and that is pursue bigger, better, greater. I'm going to continue to search for the best part of me, and I'm going to remove the worst part of me, including the things that connects to those parts, so that I can get on to something new. Peace and blessings. May you have an amazing week. Hope this broadcast took you to a better understanding in who you are, so that you can resemble whom you are. Peace and blessings. Take care.